It's one of those difficult perennial questions in philosophy and politics. Is honesty the best policy? And you might be surprised that more often than not, yes. There's actually a nice book by John Mearsheimer. I haven't had a chance to look at it. I think I skimmed it, where he went through leaders lying, and he found out surprisingly, oftentimes they don't lie, right? Because it just doesn't make any sense when you're communicating threats, right? Especially in international affairs. Why would you lie? This is what you want, right? So there's a difficult matter here. And let me get to the punchline. So has DOA lied to us? I guess us collectively, the community. Yes. And again, you can say, well, it's a lie, but it's not really important. But I just want to point out both sides here have, to put it mildly, very dirty hands. So Nora, in one of her exchanges with DOA, the very recent one, she forced him. I don't know why he was lying about this. That, well, are you monetized or not? And he was like, no, no. Oh, okay, yeah, I am. So his monetization is weird. I think he can have channel members, but he doesn't monetize the videos, right? So I don't think he's getting ad revenue, but he is monetized. So there we go. There we go. So monetization works at various levels. I'm not going to go through all the whatever boring, the behind the scenes political stuff, but if you want that, become a channel member. We'll go more in depth about DOA, Nora, and the various what do you want to say? The follies of SPTV. And I do want to be clear that Nora did formally dissolve her link to SPTV. She's maintained relations with a lot of these people, like Liz Gale and Marissa. So she's having it both ways, but that's just Nora. Okay. But I just want to set the stage that both sides not being completely honest. So let's hear DOA speak more on his alleged legal war he's going to wage with SPTV.
TV to others, actually not one of these people you mentioned that stuff. They were all TVs. It's all SPTV. They might not have it now. They had it then. This happened a year ago. They're all under the flag of SPTV. All of them. All of them. I did not talk to that Mandy since you guys are here. Good. You don't want to have anything to do with Mandy. Yeah, no, this has put a huge black tarnish on the SPTV community, and the people who were part of all. So, and yeah, and the silence of everybody who sat around and said nothing. Here, Kelly, did you question anything? SPTV never ends in nartology. Did you question anything? Did you speak up for Lewis? Did you question the allegations? Did you do anything? In fact, did anyone do anything at all? Anybody? Anything? Did anyone from the SPTV community question the fucking accusers? And they have allowed OSA. They've allowed it to fucking happen. Okay. Now they've allowed it, and all these people have deleted all the streams with Louis. Louis has been deleted from everything. All of you, man. And so yes, you guys spoke it into reality.
All right, so let's get into it. So yeah, a lot of things are not adding up. But I just want to fact correct DOA. And I want to stress that this is not the original audio. The audio has been manipulated and edited because can't lie. I do need monetization. I'm not lying. I'm in a very desperate financial situation and maybe getting better soon. Hopefully. I don't know for sure, but things are happening. But I've been there before where things don't happen. Just what it is. Okay, but the audio was manipulated. I want to be very clear there. Alrighty then. So one fact check is that Aaron and Miriam went back and forth on Lou Repetto and their quote, complicity and guilt. Aaron blamed Miriam. Miriam said she's innocent. However, DOA is saying some true things there. Like, yes, Louis was on various streams, but after these allegations and accusations came out, the streams magically disappeared. So there's this radical revisionism where, who? Louis? Louis? Who's Louis? I don't know. I guess somebody knows him. Yeah, we're not going to talk about that anymore. So it's very strange. Very strange. And so there's this attempt to rewrite history severely. So Aaron's like, there's a reason I never had an interview with Mr. Repetto. I'm totally innocent. And that just became this very weird echo chamber where magically, and again, good or bad, DOA put up this photo where he was dining with Louis Repetto, as was Aaron and Jenna. So only a short time ago, like a year ago, a year and a couple months, he was fine. But then he was branded this evil ox bull creature and exiled. And there's a severe attempt to destroy all the streams and rewrite history. However, that doesn't mean he's innocent. But yes, SPTV does this a lot. When something suspicious or controversial happens, they create a very fake, phony reality, gather around, give each other messages, and this becomes the new reality, and they sell it to people who are stupid enough to believe it and continue the grift. And there we are. But I want to be clear that there was some contestation. Some people were questioning the accusations, right? I was always very clear. We shouldn't go beyond the evidence. There does seem to be evidence, and there's definitely evidence of complicity, but what does that mean? I don't know. Again, I have no direct connection to Miriam or Aaron or Serge or whoever. But there definitely were alarming questions that should have been asked. And whenever you're trying to ask those questions, you're going to be labeled OSA, and they're going to fall back, oh, the children, I'm a child of Scientology, and crying, 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 child of Scientology, and so on and so forth. So they do have this kind of propaganda routine down to a pat and a cycle. And you're kind of dealing with these robots, basically, right? So unless you're part of their special club, they're just going to give you these robotic answers, robotic questions. That's just how they operate. So DOA is exposing some very big parts of corruption with SPTV. Let's be very clear there. That's definitely true. However, I'm fearful that a lot of innocent people are getting tagged, and yeah, they had some association with SPTV, but they weren't like the ringleaders. I want to be careful here.
There's two groups here. There's two groups. There's a group making the false allegations, and there's the group that have said nothing. No, you can't sue. You can't sue for being silent. You can't do is call out everyone who is silent. You're not fighting Church of Scientology because you can believe that. But if you're silent, all these false claims, you're allowing Scientology to win because these people, good people, who are fighting Scientology, critics, are being ostracized, criticized, defamed, slandered. Not one thing of wait, so now in Union, all the Elron videos of accusations are removed by the streamer, Unison? You can don't apologize to me. I mean, y'all motherfuckers cannot say nothing. I lost so much support when I first questioned it, and I lost a lot of support the second time I questioned it.
Well, I'm very torn here because there has been a lot, and I do mean a lot of corruption going on with this SPTV network and a lot of allies. And if lawsuits are going to come out that are going to force people to state very clearly, okay, what did you say? What is the accusation? And can you provide evidence for these accusations? So I will just give one case study. And listen, good faith, this is not in my self interest, right? Because it's in, quote, my self interest to pretend these are good people or that they are, quote, good critics. But no, that is just not true, right? So I have a lot of criticisms for DOA and Alonzo. I want to be very clear there. Not exactly a fan of their approach or where they're going. There's a lot of things that they're skipping over and not quite accurate, not quite honest. However, I was listening to this very long dead agent stream with Mexican long hair and Ellie. And again, I want to stress there's a point for both sides where Ellie, I do think, was victimized. However, and guess who was in the chat? Oh, yeah, growing up in Scientology. Aaron. Aaron the Predator was a welcome guest. But Ellie's very exercised about Alonzo being a predator. Okay, so I'm listening patiently, and I'm like, well, two things. One, Ellie needs to get a logic textbook because her inferences from what Alonzo said didn't add up. So I don't know if she intentionally lied about Alonzo or is just really stupid. Right? Either way, you may have to pay a cost. So Alonzo and DOA getting Ellie into court and saying, okay, what did you say? Why did you say that? What is the point here? Because he was making some pretty alarming accusations, and I'm like, that is not how the law operates. That is not what the audio file even implies. Nor is technically there an inconsistency, at least not the way she worded it. Now, is Alonzo being inconsistent? Yes. Is DOA being inconsistent? Yes. And if you want to catch them in their positions are shifting or they're lying, where you can have good evidence, yeah, you can do that. And I've tried to do that. However, if you're just going to make stuff up and create these weirdo, bizarro conspiracies that don't even exist, and like, you're going to put yourself in a really difficult legal situation, which Mexican long hair and Ellie did. You cannot say full blown embracing a predator like Aaron and, oh, we just care about children and victims. No, you don't. No, you don't. You have a very partisan agenda. Fine, that is your partisan agenda. But that is not, to put it mildly, a good or even valid summation of Alonso's views. I mean, that stuff was just garbage. And okay, but fine, it's out there now. So you're making these incredible accusations and saying, well, this is no, that is not illegal. To my knowledge, there is no evidence Alonso did anything illegal. They're just charging him. Oh, he's a full-on predator and a criminal. He's a communist. Put him in jail. Put him in jail now. That's not how the law works. Now that said, can you question Alonso and or DOA? Sure, but just why are you making stuff up? I don't know. Why is it okay for Aaron to traipse around in the chat? I don't know that either. I guess like we just have this magical rule with the SPTV and their friends that when the SPTV people commit crimes, magics, they're saving children's. When they're full-blown criminals and predators, saving children's. Just keep repeating that phraseology. But if a critic does something wrong or says something wrong, oh, they're the devil. Get rid of them. Destroy them. Find anything you can. Destroy them. Even just make stuff up. Just lie about them. And then if you get questioned, oh, I'm a woman, I'm a victim. And it just becomes the same thing over and over again. And you can acknowledge, yeah, you're a victim. Miriam is a woman. She's a victim. Ellie, as far as you can tell, is a woman. She's a victim, right? You could also be pathological liars and propaganda agents. Two things can be true. So, again, I think this is a very precarious thing we're doing of making this into a legalistic dispute, right? However, there's been a lot of lying out there. I mean, I can't be dishonest there. People have lied about Alonso. People have lied about DOA, and they thought they could get away with it. So if there's going to be some counter reaction to that, I think a counter reaction is warranted, and to some degree, it is. So I just don't know why people just can't be more calm, more careful. But well, we'll wait and see. Because I don't think DOA is playing around. I think when Aaron does his lawsuit threats, he's playing around. But I don't think DOA is playing around. So good or bad, this is going to get into a court of law, and some people are going to have to provide receipts. Can they? We're going to have to wait and see. I don't think they will, though. So there we are.